Okay, here we are. So, welcome. My name is Laura Santner. I'm here with TrickStop and with skinpick.com. I'm here today to talk about the world of fidgets. There are so many options out there, and we're just going to go over a handful. But I do have a lot. I do have a lot to go over. Besides fidgets, there are lots of other strategies, but today we're just focusing on fidgets. Um, so welcome, and I'm going to, if I can figure this out again. Oh, here we go. Share screen. Okay. Okay. Hopefully everyone can see this and see me in the corner. So here we are talking about fidgets to cope with body-focused repetitive behaviors. Let me see. And again, I see hands raised. I'm just going to repeat. If something comes up, please write in the question and answer box. And I will try to address them if I can as they come up. And if I can't, then I will address it the best I can at the very end. Okay, let me see. Ah, hold on a second. Just kidding. Let me try this again. And okay, take two. And I'm going to just get this question and answer box here as well. So hopefully I'll see some questions as they come up. So welcome again. Oh my goodness, why is this not working? Oh, here we go. Okay. So when we talk about fidgets, or before we talk about fidgets, I want to go over this concept of using strategies. So when we use strategies, we want to look at Scamp. Okay. What is Scamp? Scamp is sensory, cognitive, affect, motor, and place. So when you're thinking about strategies, you want to think about which strategies address which thing in Scamp. So today we're just focusing on the S, the sensory aspect of strategies, the sensory aspect. We also have the cognitive, which are your thoughts. There are a whole bunch of strategies for that. Affect, your feelings, strategies for that. Motor, that's kind of like your movement and your body positioning, strategies for that. And place, where are you located and what is the situation? Okay, so today we are just focusing again on the sensory aspect for fidgets. So sensory, for example, touch and sight, specifically. So when you're thinking about what fidgets, which ones will work best for you, you want to have some things to keep in mind. So some considerations are: where on your body is your BFRB? What hand do you use to engage in your BFRB? What are the physical visual sensations that you get both before, during, and after you have an episode? And what physical sensations do you seek? What are you looking for? What visually stands out? What are you physically and visually doing after you're engaging in your BFRB? So all of that is important when thinking about what fidget is going to work for you. Okay. So why fidgets? As I mentioned, there are so many other different kinds of strategies. Fidgets is just one aspect. So a fidget is a way of using a competing response or an action that's meant to compete with or replace the BFRB behavior. Opposite to the behavior you're trying to replace. But most importantly, you want to keep it simple. So you want to find actions or fidgets that are easy, discreet, and work for you. Fidgets can be satisfying if they come close to the sensation you are seeking, actually. So It's a little bit, it's not necessarily the opposite feeling. Sometimes it's helpful if it's a somewhat similar feeling. Although no fidget is going to feel like picking or pulling or biting. Okay. So you just want to try to find one that works for you. Um, Fidgets help to redirect urges to something else that's both safe and somewhat satisfying. It helps to stimulate your brain and your body when you're feeling understimulated, which is a common trigger for BFRBs, such as like when you're bored. And it also helps to soothe and relax when your brain and body are feeling overstimulated, such as anxiety, which is also a common trigger for BFRBs. Okay, so I'm going to jump right into examples. I have a lot, so bear with me. Um, Even though I have a lot, there are still many, 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 many more. So I made at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a link, or you can just Google my name, Laura Santner, and favorite fiddles and stimulating substitutes. So that list is on bfrb.org, and that list was started by Dr. Fred Penzel, and he made a list of about 50. And I took a look at it and I was like, oh no, there's a lot more. And I edited it and I updated it, and now there's about 160. Even that list of about 160 ideas, I have even more ideas since then, and I have not added to them. So there are even more. There are constantly more fidgets and things kind of coming out on the market, which is pretty exciting. Okay. So number one is a creative artistic activity. So that can include things like origami. Oh, actually, I happen to have my attempt at origami. It's supposed to be a bird. Oh, there we go. Origami. I had a client that really liked Legos, collage, jewelry making, knitting, crocheting, quilting, embroidery, cross stitch, needlepoint, sewing, coloring book. There is such thing now called the reverse coloring book, which gets your brain thinking a little bit different ways. Puzzles, video games. Um, these artistic activities are really good for like when you're lounging around. So on the TV or couch, while taking a break from doing work, maybe when you're talking on the phone. I didn't put that on here, but any situation where you're just kind of hanging out. So this helps with expression, with any of your thoughts and your feelings. It's a wonderful creative outlet, gives you the sense of accomplishment. It keeps your hands busy. You don't need to focus on it too much. And it does utilize that sense of touch and sight. The cons, of course, with the creative artistic activity is that you're limited in the situations you can use it in. But even at work, you can do, if you're at the desk, you can kind of doodle at the same time, depending on what your work is, for example. So you might be able to make some adjustments. But this is a really good thing to keep in mind. Okay. We also have creative music activities. So, for example, playing a musical instrument or taking a lesson. And I would even include in here actually listening to music. But some examples of playing instruments would be guitar, so things with your fingers, right? Guitar, harp, piano, flute, saxophone. Drums can feel really good, and a tambourine. Just some, of course, some examples. Again, this is really good for when you're taking breaks from sedentary activities. Help with transitions. So, such as after school or work, transitions are really important time to keep in mind. They're really big triggers. So, having some kind of plan of what to do during transitions is really important. So, music activities will be really good. Um, would singing Would singing fit into a creative music act? Oh, I mean, yeah, singing, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. The question just came in. Singing, absolutely counts as a creative musical activity. Um, and as you see, it helps with releasing intense feelings, again, soothing those thoughts and changing your focus. Again, it's a creative outlet, sense of accomplishment. It also keeps your hands busy and stimulated, and utilizes touch and hearing senses. Same with singing. Oh, okay. Excellent. Um, all right. So the cons here, potentially loud, right? So depending on where you are, it could disturb others. Um, Access to instruments. Keep in mind, although anything can be an instrument, it does not, you do not have to use a traditional instrument. You could drum on your desk, right? That's an instrument. So anything around you can become an instrument. Um, if you're learning an instrument, it's potentially a frustrating learning process, but it's a rewarding one. So I recommend it. Oh, again, why is this not? Okay. 3, playing with textures. So just some examples. Pulling out threads from a piece of like woven muslin cloth, or even fabric band-aids. You can kind of like peel and pick them apart. Um, they have something called the pull apart fidget cloth, which is what this picture is right here. That's at thetherapyshop.com. Fabric samples, velvet corduroy, anything. Feel the things that you're wearing. Um, Go through your house and see what kind of feels interesting to you. Cotton balls, right? Just pulling apart cotton balls that has an interesting texture. Um, in fact, I don't have a cotton ball, but it's similar to a cotton ball. It's like a little pom pom that this is kind of cool. This one's kind of glittery, and you can kind of pick at, pull and pick at the glittery parts, if you can see that. So that's kind of interesting. Um, Ripping paper, poking holes in it, stretching saran wrap, poking holes in that. Something called calm strips. Calm strips are okay. I like the bumpy ones compared to the smooth ones. Kind of looks like this. You can put it on a keychain. You can stick it on your desk, on your laptop. Um, but it's kind of has an interesting texture there. Um, if you're driving, steering wheel covers, I just pulled up some other textures. Some scrap yarn, for example. This is has an interesting texture. You can see it's even, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of coming, as I'm kind of playing with it, it's just kind of coming. Things are coming off of it. The yarn's coming apart. That's good. Right. Anything with like a weird texture. All right. You can kind of, that feels good. Um, Kind of pulling that apart. Okay. So again, this could be good for computer desk, reading, school work, TV couch, and a car. Depending on if you're doing a steering wheel cover, that would be okay for a driver. Other things might be for passenger only. So pulling on fabric is close to pulling on hair, and can give a similar feeling. Um, Depending on the texture, it might not be as appealing for pickers. You'll have to experiment a little bit. Again, appeals to a sense of touch, can be discreet, it's easily accessible. So like I said, comp strips are like not that exciting. That's the one thing that I'm about, but that's still kind of cool. Might as well try it. Um, and like I said, pulling out threads of fabric might be too close to the pulling of feeling, something you'll have to just experiment with and see what you think. Okay. Things that you wear, right? So anything with fringes and tassels, especially on scarves, um, skirts, sweaters, sweaters that are pilling. That's really satisfying. Maybe more so for pickers than for pullers, but it's satisfying for both. Playing with buttons and snaps, Velcro and zippers. Velcro, that pulling apart, I don't have an example right here. And zippers can be really satisfying. With any kind of jackets or vests, especially if there are feathers in it, sometimes the feathers are coming out. You might ruin the jacket. But in general, anything, even if you're at home with a pillow, a feather pillow, you can kind of pull out the feathers. This is a colored feather, but playing with feathers or pulling out feathers can be pretty satisfying. The act of putting on nail polish and taking it off and even picking at the nail polish can be helpful. And jewelry, we're going to go in much more into depth with jewelry in just a moment. And I see there's questions that are popping up here too. Yes, smartphone can be a fidget. Someone asked, if not, how can I break the habit of using a phone when it's already, well, using a smartphone can be a distraction. It's potentially a fidget. It's potentially can be a whole other thing that you're gonna be working on because you're on it too much. So that's like a whole other topic. Maybe we can address another time. Oh, and can I repeat the one that might be good for pickers? The pilling. The pilling on your sweaters can be really satisfying. Also, snaps. Anything with snaps, Velcro. Snaps, Velcro buttons, I would say, are feel a little bit more nicer for pickers. And nail polish. Nail polish is a good one. Okay. Just get some more questions. Oh, my screen keeps freezing. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. If it keeps happening, just I guess type it in there and let me know again. And do fidgets help individuals stop picking, or are they mainly distraction methods? So fidgets is just one method to help manage picking and pulling. It is a distraction method, but it's also a way of kind of retraining the brain into using something else. So it's both a distraction, it's both another way of stimulating you and giving you a sensory satisfaction. Okay. Let's see. So cons here, playing with fringes, tassels, Velcro zippers, things with feathers. Just want to say it does increase the wear. So things to keep in mind. And I see, oh, okay. Jewelry. Okay. A lot of examples here. So we have, let me see. Spinner rings, especially those with grooves. So here we have a spinner ring. Okay, here's another kind of spinner ring. Okay, this kind of spinner ring. This is kind of fun. This is maybe my least favorite spinner ring that I have. Still fun. Fidget pendants, which is this one here, like here, gears. Fidgeto sensory fidget bracelet, which is like this rubber bracelet. I like the silicone slap bracelets. This one. This is probably one of my favorites, actually. Silly bands is my favorite. as well. Those break quickly, the silly bands. So it's good that they come in giant packs. Sensory strands is something that I developed actually. You can make one on your own, and that you can wear around your wrist, on your finger as a hair tie, as a hair clip, as a keychain, on your bag or purse. This is what that looks like. You can easily make it. You can see that. This is more for, the sensory strands are more for pullers. Okay. Magnetic jewelry, right? Woo. Wear it as a necklace, as a bracelet, as a ring. Jewelry with inspirational sayings. Bracelets or necklaces with beads and objects that have a lot of texture, that are very tactile. A string of worry beads, worry stones, Tibetan mala, the rosaries there. Vibrating necklace. Oh, that's what this is right here. This is the Vesper vibrator. It's kind of interesting. Oh, here they make these little like zipper bracelets too. So if you don't have any clothes with a zipper, you can wear one as a bracelet. That's pretty neat. Even these like poppers you can wear as a bracelet. Let me see. Necklaces. This is like a cool necklace here. Opens and closed. Yeah, experiment, see what you have. What I'm wearing here, this is like a leather bracelet, and I added a cool tassel here, mainly because the bracelet broke, but this is like super fun to play with. It's just right there. Nice leather tassel with knots at the end. That's really good, and regular beaded necklace, bracelet, sorry. We have some questions here. So how to use, someone asked, how do we turn these into a habit? Using them a lot, right? Just practicing using fidgets as often as possible is going to help you get used to using fidgets. Okay. Okay. So those are some. So with jewelry, jewelry is a really great fidget you could use because it's really subtle, right? It's discreet. You can use it in public. So work, office, school, desk, car, bus, train, right? TV, couch, reading, really anything out and about is really great for jewelry fidgets. Keeps your hands busy. It appeals to the sense of touch. It's discreet, easily accessible. It's also pretty. I didn't add that there, but it's cool. It's kind of nice to wear jewelry sometimes. The cons to keep in mind, if you're playing with jewelry, it can increase wear and break. So if you have things that are beaded, it can break and it can go everywhere. It's no fun when it goes everywhere and you're on a train or a bus, for example. As I mentioned, silly bands break pretty easily, although they feel really cool. For kids, other kids might get jealous if you have like fun like these things, right? So that's potentially a problem. They might take it from you. Of course, easily dropped and misplaced. Okay. Let me just check the question and answer before we move on to brushes, which is another big one. Okay, did that one. Give me one moment. Oh, someone asked, can we have access to your slides? That's a good question. I was actually wondering the same thing. I'm going to try to make it work and talk to the team, the administrator, and see if we can. I don't see why not. So I'll try to get the slides over to them and maybe they'll be able to email it out to folks. So I will follow up with that. You can also follow up with support at trickstop.com or support at skinpick.com. Okay. Oh yeah, silicone rings are fun too. Oh yeah, absolutely. They're soft and then it can be twisted and manipulated. Yep, and they're quiet and durable. Yes, thank you for adding that. Silicone rings absolutely are also a really good fidget. Oh, what is a Morse code bracelet? Morse code bracelet is pretty cool. I think I had a picture on there. It's basically just a bracelet, but it might have like a phrase that's inspiring to you. Let's say breathe, right? But the word breathe is in Morse code. So it doesn't say breathe to someone who's just standing around. You have to kind of touch it and look at it. If you know Morse code, you know it says breathe. Um, yeah, that was kind of an interesting find. Okay. So brushes. So brushes, I don't mean to use brushes to brush your hair. Um, Brushes can be used as a fidget. Not only you can use a brush to stimulate your head, you can also use a brush to stimulate parts of the body, um, right? Just to kind of press and stimulate. Can also use brushes to play with, right? Especially if they have little bumps at the end. Um, there are also many, many different kinds of brushes. So hair brushes, mushroom brushes, toothbrushes, both the full size or the travel size, or you can just kind of just get the top, electric toothbrushes, nail brushes, massage brushes, makeup brushes, scrub brushes, shoe shine brushes. There's the soft kind that's used for buffing, paint brushes. What's great about brushes, again, you can use to stimulate your skin or different areas. You can also pick and pull at the bristles, pick them out, pull them out. Um, some wood or plastic brushes, right? A comb can be used to massage your scalp. We said that. Plastic surgical brushes are used by medical personnel to scrub their hands. I have pictures on the next slide. I will show you those. Um, Different kinds of animal brushes. Oh, there's this little brush. I really like this one. Finger Max. It's like a little finger paintbrush. This one's a nice one because it can go right in your pocket. Same, I don't know if you can see. So, but same thing. You can kind of like pull out the bristles or just use it to like gently touch your skin. Um, Wig loop brushes are kind of cool because they have these like little loops. So those are kind of fun to like squeeze and play with. Um, Let me go to the next slide. So here are lots of pictures of different brushes. Same thing, you kind of use them on your desk, bed. This is a kind of a fun one to have next to your bed on your next to your TV, couch, right? Reading. This is a good bathroom strategy, right? If you have brushes around, kind of pick up a brush and kind of play with it when you're in the bathroom. So it keeps your hands busy. It can stimulate your scalp or skin anywhere on the body. So for pullers and for pickers. Not so much if you're a biter. Appeals to the sense of touch, and even the sound. So if you're using a brush or something on your head, you might notice you can kind of hear it. So that can be satisfying. It also can feel like a method of self-care. Again, easily accessible, can bring with you in your bag or your purse. So I suggest taking a look around your house and just seeing all of the different kinds of brushes you can find, and experimenting. Touch it to your skin, to your head, and see what you like. Um, A con is if you have a brush, this one, right, the little bulbs on the top come off very easily. The teeth can break. It can pull, if you're pulling out the bristles, you might need replacing. I don't necessarily recommend using your regular hairbrush as your fidget brush, just because you might wind up breaking it if it's your fidget brush, and you just might want to keep it separate. Let me see. Questions on that. Cleaning brushes. Someone wrote, cleaning my brush. Yes. Picking out all the hair and hair gel on each bristle is really satisfying for me. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I agree. Um, I have a child who does not pull her hair, but pulls on the string of her clothes, destroying everything she wears. Would an appropriate fidget need to be something that doesn't involve string or yarn? Short answer is probably, because that might be too close to what your child is already doing. If you don't want them to be pulling their clothes, I would say trying to find something different would probably be wise. Or or like fabric pieces, like we mentioned in the beginning, something that's still kind of a clothing item, but not one that they're actively wearing, or not one that they're going to actively wear. So in that situation, yeah, something like a fabric swatch or a fabric bracelet of some sort. Um, Yarn, you can do yarn. That's yarn with knots. You can just kind of keep going through yarn. That's not going to hurt. Okay. Ah, the screen froze. Okay. Um, well, I don't know if there's anything I can do about the screen freezing, but keep letting me know. Um, and hopefully it will be okay. It will be recorded, so hopefully it will be somewhat okay in the recording. Again, if not, we'll try to get slides out to folks. Okay. Um, these are called finger max. They're like finger brushes. But I think they're called finger max. Okay. Oh, maybe it's just freezing for some people. Okay. That's good to know. Um, well, so I mentioned this in the beginning. What makes fidget toys so effective in the first place? I've always wondered how it works. Fidget toys are effective because, again, it helps you when you're understimulated, kind of re-stimulate you. And understimulation is a common trigger. And when you're overstimulated, it can help calm you. So that is another way it can help you. In addition, again, it gives you something to do, it keeps you busy, and it appeals to the senses. Okay. Again, we'll try to get the slides to you so you can kind of revisit that. Okay. Okay. The wonderful world of magnets. So magnets, I only have a couple of examples on my desk here, but magnets are really cool. They have magnetic stones, magnetic balls, magnetic building sticks, and something called SpecFlex magnetic silicone building sets. They have these cool things, magnetic rings. I haven't tried them yet, but it seems like pretty cool. And magnetic putty. And I showed you already the magnetic like bracelet and necklace. This is the one that I have. Whoops. I really like this one because the stones are all different shapes. So that's pretty appealing. I like that pull. There's a little resistance, which is like really neat. And again, if you turn the magnets around and do the opposite effect, that's pretty weird feeling. Ooh. There we go. Uh, they're small. they're really good for like office work, for example, desk, computer, TV, couch, reading. Keeps your hands busy. Again, it's pretty satisfying. You can get ones that have different colors, so it also appeals to the visual sense. Yeah, it's just really easy for you to bring with you. They are small. The smaller ones can get lost. If you have young kids in the house, keep in mind this is a choking hazard. So just something to be aware of. Oh, good. And someone says that they have tiny magnetic balls and they're amazing and effective. Yay. Excellent. I like to hear that. And let me go to the next one. Okay. Putty. We have Silly Putty or Thinking Putty. This brand, Crazy Aaron's Thinking Putty, is a pretty popular one. Um, I like Theraputty, which comes in different firmnesses and it comes in larger quantities. You can also make your own slime. If you make your own slime, you can put little beads in it for additional tactile senses. There's also clay, Fimo, polymer modeling clay, any kind of clay like that. You can make something. Um, this is good for, again, work, office, school desk, car, bus, train, right, TV, couch, reading, any kind of activity break. What I like about the Theraputty, for example, is you can pinch it, you can extend it, you can pull it, you can rip it, you can break it, squeeze it, twist it, pop it. So this is good for both pullers and pickers. It's just really gets right. You can really get a lot of that like frustration out. Feels really good. Uh, it's also really good strengthening for your fingers at the same time. So I just find this pretty fun. Um, right, you can just make little holes. You can make little air bubbles, which are fun to pop. You can twist them. All right, so this is pretty satisfying. Um, oh, question. Oh yeah, and going back some to the magnets, having 2 or 3 round magnet balls in your hand is very effective and discreet. Yes, I agree. Thank you for adding that. Okay. Okay. Hand exercisers. Um, I like these because it helps you to feel like you're being productive and you're strengthening at the same time. So it gives a sense of accomplishment. These you can also easily fit in a purse or bag for travel. It's pretty socially acceptable for like a workplace environment. So I really like this strategy. Um, and so some examples are like the Grit Master Pro with different tensions to strengthen each finger, right? So I like this one. We have a like a more general one, right? What is this? Rit Fit Best Finger Exerciser Stretcher. Other finger stretcher balls, such as the Hand Master. That's what this is. Um, and TheraBand Flex Bars Resistance. This one's cool because it kind of, I like this one because you have to stick your, it takes effort, which I don't like for this particular one. It takes effort to get your hand in there, but then your hands are like, fingers are kind of stuck. So you stretches your hand, but you can also squeeze a squishy ball at the same time. Something like the Dynaflex is kind of weird. I can't always get it. You have to like spin it and get it in a certain position, and it exercises your wrists. So that's kind of how that one works. When you're using these, use your judgment though. Be careful not to overwork and strain muscles and joints. So that is a potential con for the hand exercisers. Okay. Massagers. We have the LT Siamese massage ball by Unique Design. That's this one, I believe. So that's just any kind of like one-handed fidget that's bumpy with divots and grooves. It rotates, makes a satisfying clicking noise. There's something very meditative about it. The arm massage is pretty cool, or any kind of finger massage and rollers. Um, where's my massage ring? Oh, I have it over here. Here's an example of the massage ring. I really like the massage ring. Um, it just feels really nice to address each finger, give it a nice massage. Do not leave the massage ring on. Okay. It is not meant to stay on your finger. It is meant to just roll and roll it over. Even if you're not using it on your finger, I kind of like just twisting it in my fingers because it's kind of bumpy and feels nice. I'm not a big fan of like the head massagers. Some people really like them. I don't. This one vibrates. Again, but it's another way of stimulating your scalp or your skin and your muscles. It feels good. It's a method of self-care using massagers. So it's a helpful strategy. Some of these massagers are more discreet than others. Some appropriate for a workplace setting or public setting, while others might not be. It does take effort to use. So I find that fidgets, again, fidgets that are easy to use are going to be the better ones. Anything that takes a little bit more effort, you're going to be less motivated to use and you're going to use it less frequently. Okay. Bubble wrap and poppers. These might look familiar to you. These have gotten so popular, these poppers. So they're okay. Each brand is a little bit different. I don't have a recommendation of which brand. You just kind of have to like feel them and feel the resistancy and see which ones you like. But you can use actual bubble wrap. They have something called electric bubble wrap or infinity bubble wrap air. So that you just keep going. That's this one and this one over here. These are like the push pop bubble fidget toys. What I like about these is they come in all different shapes and sizes. You can wear them as keychains. I mentioned before as a bracelet, as a necklace. There's so many options. Someone mentioned before about using their phone. There's a bubble wrap app for your phone where you can kind of pop bubble wrap. Something to give it a try. There's this I found, I have not tried it, the push pop bubble silicone jigsaw puzzle. That sounds kind of cool because it kind of combines puzzles and the poppers. So that could be interesting. Same with the popper spinner in this picture, combining spinning and popping. So I like that it kind of addresses a couple of different potential fidgets at the same time. So it stimulates touch, sound. That pop feels good and satisfying. I would say bubble wrap and poppers feels better for pickers than pullers. Some of these are more discreet than others, and they're fun. It can be loud, can be a little distracting. And as I mentioned before in another slide, some kids can potentially get jealous because it looks really cool. And it might get taken. Stress balls. So I feel like back in the day when people talked about fidgets, the first thing that came to people's minds were stress balls. So as you've learned so far, there is much more to fidgets than just stress balls. These days, even with stress balls, there are so many options. So I've listed here just a couple of goodies that I like. Um, the mesh stress ball, that's this one. I don't have an example because it broke. um, but this is a really good and satisfying one. Spiky. Um, so this one, spiky or smiley face, roly poly. Oodles ball, that's really cool. I have some of that example. My smiley face one, it also broke. If you can see, it popped. So that's the cons with these. But before it popped, right, it's pretty satisfying. Right, this one's got like tiny little beads inside. So it's got these little bumps and beads besides the little spikes that you can play with. Um, any kind of, oh, color morph gel balls, those are pretty cool. Foam balls of any, these are like foam balls. You can get them any kind of like shapes, sizes, right? Uh, I kind of like the a little bit more unusual looking ones. Koosh balls. Koosh balls, classic koosh ball. You can get a classic koosh ball. I like this one. There used to be like these little like shooter koosh balls. So I actually like this one because it's got this additional little rubber thing you can play with here. You can kind of put it around your finger. Play with that. Whoops. So I just koosh balls, they get worn out. I just pulled on it and a whole chunk of the koosh just came out in my fingertips. Um, so they do get worn out. Same with like rubber band balls. They get worn out real quick, as you see, and it just broke off, which is fine. That's there for fidgets. They're for breaking. That's what they're there for. It's all good. Okay. These are good for reading, bed, TV, couch, right, desk, computer. When you're a passenger in a car, they're very tactile. They're very fun and colorful. Feels really good to squeeze out and get some of that tension. These are not discreet. As I mentioned, they can pop, they can leak, they dry out quickly. Um, because they're fun and cool looking, other kids, if you're a kid or bringing them to school, they might want to steal it. Um, it's not as satisfying as pulling or picking. Just like all fidgets, it's not going to quite hit the spot, but still pretty good. Yeah, so at the very end, I will show you, I have links of where you can get different fidgets. So hang tight. I have found the Nido mushroom nice because it has a firmer top and a squishier bottom. Great. Yeah. The thing about fidgets is just keep trying, keep experimenting, and see what works for you. Okay. Okay, someone's just thanking me. Oh, for the information. They can't stay the whole time. I have no idea what time it is. Sorry about that. Oh, actually, I can look here. Okay, we're doing good. Yes, if you have to leave early, feel free again. This is recorded. You can look at it later on. It will be posted. You will have access to it. Okay. Okay. So next, I wanted to go over rubber fidgets. We have the hairy tangle, the ziggy pasta, the fringe bracelet, monkey noodles, stretch centipede, inside out fidget or ball. So this inside out fidget or ball intrigues me a lot. Something to give it a try. I've not tried those. These are pretty cool. I find these are better for kids because you can again wear it as a bracelet. You can wear this as on your head, um, or when you're at home by yourself as an adult. Right, these are pretty fun. This is like the Ziggy pasta thing. I like that the zigzag makes it kind of bumpy and uneven, so that's pretty satisfying. This is satisfying for pullers, not really for pickers. Um, the centipede. I love these centipedes for pullers and for pickers because it's got these little like bumps. I don't know if you can see it. And every leg's got like a little bump, so it's pretty satisfying. I also really like the eyeballs because I like squeezing the little eyeballs back and forth. Eyeballs also pop if you're squeezing them a lot. But these are fun. These monkey noodles, I don't know if you saw one of the videos that was posted on Trickstop, but I showed an example of how to use the monkey noodle. Besides stretching, what I like about these is you can tie a little knot in them, and then you can kind of pick it, pull it out. So that's pretty satisfying. Um, Again, for reading, for when you're in bed, TV couch, desk computer, car passenger. Yeah, they're very tactile. They're interesting. Probably better for hair pullers. They're fun and they're colorful. And they come in packs. So a lot of these do, not all of them, but like this one comes in pack and like this guy comes in a pack. What I like about fidgets that come in packs is that you can put them in different parts of your house in different situations so you're better prepared. Okay. Before I go on to the next slide, I'm just going to check the questions. Um, yeah, someone mentioned that they have trouble remembering to use the fidgets. I have a lot of trouble remembering to have my fidgets on me or remembering to wear my fidget jewelry. Any tips? Yeah, the best suggestion is to kind of to put it on before those urges hit. So right in the beginning of the day when you're getting ready, put on the fidget jewelry so you have it on for the day, for example. For fidgets, other fidgets that you're not wearing, have them visible, accessible, all over, wherever you need them. The more visible and accessible they are, the more likely it is you will remember. Um, Another little helpful tidbit for using strategies is making a list. Make a list of the ones you want to use and have it on a post-it note or something invisible as a reminder. So you can, refer to it. You can have it on your phone as a reminder, check it off on your phone or on a physical list. Keychains. um, these edamame poppers, are really cool and satisfying. Again, they break really easily. Mine's really old. It's broken. Um, but these come in packs. They're very satisfying for both pickers and pullers. Maybe more pickers for this one. Um, Puzzles as a keychain, rings, again, poppers, the fidget cube, finger fidget spinners, anything you can really put on a keychain. I just took out what I had here for a keychain. Right. Little rubber thing. These are strangely satisfying. If you're sitting at a desk, by the way, with an old school phone and they have the phone cord, those are really great for the office. Right. And if you don't have that, then having one on your keychain, that bumpiness is pretty good. Um, this little guy just took out, it's a massager. But it's a travel massager, right? So again, you can kind of stimulate your skin and give yourself a little massage. Keychains are really great because they're really accessible. They're small, they're discreet. You can take them everywhere. So you can keep your hands occupied basically wherever you go. You can have them on your keys. You can have them attached to a backpack or on your purse. You can even have it like in your pocket and playing with your keychain. If you really want to be discreet. Um, the con is it does make your keychain bulkier. I would say a price to pay though if you have something extra and discreet to play with. Let's see. Oh, do you have any advice on how to pack the magnetic balls that I have? As magnets can't go near electronics. Yeah, I would say that's a good question. For magnets, try to put them away from electronics. You can put them in like a separate little baggie. I think my magnets came in like a small purple velvet case, but if you're just putting them in a small little bag inside your purse or something and just put it in a separate zippered section if possible. That would be my suggestion. Okay. Okay. Pen toppers and grips. These are really great, again, for desk, computer, both work and at school. If you're in a school setting, a young school setting, again, they're super cool looking. So other kids might try to steal your pen or your pencil or your topper. So that's a con right there. And it can draw attention because it's a really cool looking pen. Um, but there are so many different options for pencil toppers. We have the pencil topper spinner. This one's pretty cool. A pencil topper popper. That's this thing over here, upper right hand corner. Um, I think. Oh wait, that's this one. The Snapper's fidget pen. That one's this one, the Snap one. Pop in tube pen. Oh, that's this one. That seemed pretty cool. Um, these kind of toppers, this one, this green one, and then this clear one are chewable, which can be really satisfying and good for that oral sensation. And this fun one is just fun to kind of pull at. So again, they go right on your pen or pencil, keeps your hand occupied while you're at work. So you're doing it at the same time. And it makes work a little bit more fun. A couple of examples here. These rubber ones, this one right here, they wear out quickly. Mine like melted and got really sticky. So I did not wind up liking this one right here. Um, you can also just get fun pens. I used to have this one at my office, which was fun. I had this little mermaid gal. All right, there's my little mermaid. Oh, you can't see her tail, which was fun. Even these guys are nice. I don't necessarily like this particular pen, but I like this little topper here because he's fun to like kind of unravel, take on and off, put around your finger, wrap around. And that one's kind of fun. Okay. And I wanted to go over everyday things around the house because all of these fidgets are really great, but it can be a lot. Fidgets in general are not that expensive, but if you're getting a lot, it does add up. So there are surprisingly a lot of fidgets just around your house that you might not even be aware of. So, for example, pot holders or trivets. All right, here's one. This is like really cool. You can kind of press into it. It feels cool. Kind of scrape it. I don't know if you can hear that noise. Oops. Yeah, so that one's cool. This is just a pot holder or a trivet. Um, pipe cleaners. I guess it's an arts and craft material, but if you happen to have one, this pipe cleaner I recommend over others because it's goes big, little, big, little. So it's more varied and bumpy. So this one is pretty satisfying. Paper clips and rubber bands. What I like about paper clips is just kind of fun to fidget with. Put on the tip of your finger. They're just kind of fun to put on the tips of your finger. It kind of massages your finger and feels good. Rubber bands are super discreet, right? Just kind of playing around with them, stretch when you're at the office. Strangely, or around your house, strangely very satisfying just to play with a paper clip and a rubber band. Dental floss. Most people have dental floss around their house. If you tie knots in the dental floss, it's kind of fun to kind of pick at those knots. Dental floss can also be used as a good substitute for those that like to bite on their hair or chew them because you're using the dental floss, put it in your mouth or in between your teeth or in between your lips. This is, I don't have it on the list, but this is like a little like cleaner thing. That's kind of soft. That feels nice on the skin, relaxing. I wanted to share this. I had an old headband that, you know, is no longer a headband and it became very stretched out. But instead of throwing it away, this was a headband. Instead of throwing it away, I noticed that it now had all these little bumps from being worn out and was a pretty cool fidget. So you just never know what's around your house. Even something like nail clippers. There are pros and there are cons to nail clippers. What I like about nail clipper as a fidget is that you can kind of just kind of open and close it and move this thing around. If you're using nail clippers as part of your picking and pulling, do not use it as a fidget. Put it away, do not use it. If you are not using it as a tool for picking or for pulling, then you can use it as a fidget. Okay. Yeah, these are good for reading in bed, TV, couch, desk, computer, as a passenger, in the bathroom, right? It's accessible, discreet, but as all fidgets, it doesn't quite provide that feeling to picking or pulling. Okay, so as promised, here are additional resources. Here is the article of my very long list of about 160 strategies. Again, you can just Google my name as well, Laura Santner, and favorite fiddles, right? And that this article will come up. Places to get fidgets. I like the therapy shop, and I like Amazon. I like looking at ideas at the therapy shop and then looking them up on Amazon just because usually shipping is cheaper on Amazon. The therapy shop, you have to get a lot, a bunch of them to make it worth it, in my opinion, but they have some really cool ones on the therapy shop. Also, Autism Community Store had some good ones, and reallygoodstuff.com had some good ones. For support, I just want to reiterate, I'm here with trickstop.com and with skinpick.com. So if any one has additional questions or concerns, just email support@trickstop.com or support@skinpick.com. Okay, so how are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing good. Okay, so I wanted to address your questions and maybe your favorite fidgets. And I'm going to stop the screen share and share a couple of bonus fidgets as well. Okay, so now I can see everyone. So I wanted to share some bonus fidgets, mainly ones that I didn't find a category. This is one of my faves. It's just like a little finger trap that's sewed at the ends with a marble inside. So what I like about this is you can press it really hard and just keeps going back and forth. Really satisfying for more for picking than for pulling, but for both. It's got a nice texture here. And again, it's really satisfying just kind of pushing that marble back and forth. So that's one of my faves. Another fave is called, I always forget the name of this one. It's called a twiddle. What I like about this is it can make it, it's really small and it kind of clicks. So there's a little resistance when I click it, and then I can straighten it out. Maybe more for pullers for this one. And I don't know what these are called, but they're pretty cool. They're just beads. They're like kind of, they pop. And they're big, and again, it causes some resistance. I don't know if you can see that. So these are just a couple of little like popper beads, which are kind of cool. And my new favorite, it's called, what is this called? It's called Man Me Top Funny Puller. This is a baby toy. This is my new favorite. More for pullers. It's got all of these things to pull. It's like so cool. Makes noise. You feel like the little ridge when you're pulling it. It's endless pulling. In addition to that, it's got the poppers that we talked about. Oh, it's got some cool textures there and here. And it's got this little thing, which is pretty satisfying just to move it back and forth. This is my new favorite. It's a baby toy. Here's the box. If you can see it, funny puller, Man Me Top Funny Puller. Ages 18 months and up. But I've taken it from the baby because I like playing with it. Fun for babies too. This is a good one. Okay, so I want to take some time. I'm going to open the question and answer and see if I missed anything. You're welcome. I'm seeing some thank yous. Oh yes, I have heard about pick pads, beads, and silicone. What do you think about them? So I've seen the pick pads and also the picking stones. I have mixed feelings about them. Again, because it's kind of such a similar feeling. Again, it's worth a try. But because it's such a similar feeling, I'm not 100% on board. I think you have to reapply the silicone. I'm not quite sure. At least with the picking stones, you have to like reapply the slime. When there are steps that you have to take for a fidget, you're less likely to use them. Again, you want to keep it simple. Okay. Yes. Another thank you. Oh, someone's here from Peru. Excellent. What is that fidget toy that you have? I'm not sure. I have all of the fidgets that I showed you, so I'm not really sure which one you're referring to. This one is somewhat easy to find online. I think if you just type in fidgets, will come across this one. This is someone's first time. Welcome. I'm glad you can make it. Hope you found this valuable. Yep, someone said it was very useful. Thank you. I'm glad. Can't wait to look around the house and do this while I'm watching TV and reading. Yes, excellent. Glad to hear. Oh, the one that connects? That's called the twiddle. How do you twiddle? How do you twiddle? Um, yeah, I like this one again because it clicks and it's a little bit stiffer than some of the other ones that look similar to this. I also like, I showed in one of the slides, they have something like this, but it's got, it's rubber and it's got kind of like, you know, these things on it. That I like too. Uh, okay. If you missed this, don't worry about it. It's going to be posted. It will be posted online on Trickstop and on SkinPick, so it will be accessible. You can rewatch the video as many times as you want. Um, so no worries. We got you. Oh, another one about replaying. Yes, feel free to watch as many times as you'd like. Um, and it will be available to you. So does understimulating, picking, pulling occur more in neurodivergent people? I would say not necessarily, but these fidgets can be used for everyone. So it doesn't necessarily matter if you're neurodivergent or not. These fidgets can still be appealing and interesting. Okay. Oh, yes. Someone said that they found weeding in particular very helpful, or deadheading petunias. Absolutely. That is a really helpful strategy. That strategy is only beneficial season dependent, unless you have or able to do it in your home or have some kind of plants indoor space. Having plants at home and just taking care of plants in general is a really nice strategy to use. Um, but definitely being outside and gardening and pulling weeds has so many benefits, you know, beyond the sensory aspect that we're talking about here, beyond the fidget aspect. It addresses cognitive, affect, motor, place. It addresses all of them, being out in the garden and weeding. Okay. Oh, and anything indoors that could possibly duplicate that weed pulling feeling? Yes, this guy. This weird guy is pretty similar, I would say. I would check that one out. If you are interested in talking more about fidgets and learning more about fidgets, you know, contact the support team. Look into the program at Trickstop or at SkinPick. There are lots of therapists on that platform that will help you go through sessions and modules. There is a session on competing responses and all of these strategies that you can use. And so you can practice alongside with a therapist. Um, oh, you can, any questions? Someone asked what kind of questions are allowed right now. Any questions related to fidgets, for pickers, for pullers, for biters, anything. It's all good. Okay. All right. I should have mentioned, wait, and I love using a muscle hook. I'm not sure what that is. Muscle hook while I watch TV. Just be sure to read the booklets and do research to have good form and not hurt. So any kind of exercise fidgets that you're using, yes, just make sure you're using them correctly and you don't overuse. But any kind of like exercise fidgets can be really satisfying again because it's like using your muscles and getting your endorphins going. Um, so multiple benefits there. Um, oh yeah, so when someone mentioned about the massage ring, just as I mentioned before, for the massage ring, which now I don't know where I put it. I don't know where I put it on my desk, but the massage ring, in addition to using it on your fingers, you can just kind of play with the bumps. And that I like using it that way as well. It's just as satisfying. Um, Glad this was helpful. Just responding. Um, Someone asked what fidget is best for pickers. There is no one fidget that is best for pickers. You just got to kind of try try a bunch of them. Try any of the ones that I've mentioned tonight or anything on the list on the article that I wrote and see which one works best for you. It's all about experimenting and trying and being consistent. Okay. Oh, my therapist suggested Paint by Stickers book while watching TV. Yes. Um, that sounds excellent. Yep, I would put that under the artistic activity category. That sounds fun. Oh, and then I see someone, I'm not going to click on the link right now because I don't want to lose the screen. I don't know what will happen. Someone put a link for the muscle hook massage tool, but um, thank you for providing that link. Other final questions before we wrap up? Just going to give it a minute. Okay. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for attending. Again, I'm Laura Santner with skinpick.com and with trickstop.com. And feel free to email the support at trickstop.com or support at skinpick.com for additional questions. Stay tuned for additional monthly webinars. If there's a specific topic you'd like to learn more about, please let them know at the support email address. And this video, this webinar will be available, so you can look at it again, and I'll see what I can do about getting you the actual slides. If that's not possible, you can certainly watch the webinar again and kind of pause it whenever you want so you can take notes on the slides. Okay, hope that works for everyone. Thank you so much. Have a good night, and thanks for joining me. Take care.